So watches were the start of a whole new career. You know, I'm talking to Balazs Ferenczi, where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in Karlsruhe, Germany. This is southwest of Germany, about an hour south of Frankfurt and about 40 minutes west of Stuttgart. So right at the French border.
Again, this guy is European, baby, so he's all over the place all the time. Unlike me, who's stuck in Wisconsin, and we just got snow today. We got a little bit yesterday. We got even more today, and it's still October. So thank you very much. But we're not here to bitch about that. We're here to talk about using social media to build brands. And in the case of Balazs, you're doing a great job building your own brand, becoming a named individual, someone who's an expert in fine wristwatches, but you're also on the, let's call it the backroom side of social media for Chrono24. Tell us about Chrono24. What's that all about?
Right. So Chrono24 is an online marketplace where private sellers and dealers, official watch dealers, can sell their watches and anyone can buy their watches. So if you want a watch, you can go on Chrono24, search for it, and you'll probably find, 5 different, maybe 100 sellers, private and official sellers or businesses who are selling their watches, and you can pick whatever you like and you can buy it from them. And the cool thing about Chrono24 is we are not the dealer. We're just a platform. We connect the dealers, the private sellers, and the buyers. But we have a great feature, which is called Trusted Checkout, where we act as an escrow service. So you pay us the money. We keep the money. The dealer sends you the watch. If you're not happy with the watch, you send the watch back and you get the money back. And you don't have to worry and you don't have to argue with the dealer. Give me money back. I don't like the watch, back and forth. If something is not cool, the money stays with us until the problem is solved. If the problem is not solved, the watch goes back to the dealer and you get your money back and everybody's happy.
Wow, that's great. I mean, here in the United States, we're all used to using eBay. And back in the day when eBay was a true, I'm selling stuff from my basement to someone else, it was a crapshoot. I mean, you could have the nicest people in the world, or you could be sent a box full of dirt that weighed about the same amount. And then you open it and go, oh man, I'm out my money. So you Absolutely. Guys take care of all that stuff, which is very cool. Let's play out this scenario. In fact, I do have a knockoff Rolex blue face chronometer, and I got it as a joke. But then I stopped wearing it because I felt embarrassed, because when you wear a watch like that, you're signifying something. Maybe it was handed down through multiple generations of your family. Maybe you're rich enough to buy it straight from the jewelry store. Maybe you won it. I don't know. But you're telling people something. And if what you're telling them is, I bought a cheap ripoff of a Rolex, you're saying something about yourself. And the funny thing is, anyone who knows wristwatches is instantly going to look at the second hand to see if it's a continuous sweep or if it's a tick, 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 tick. If it's a tick, 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 they know you as either a liar or a fool. And that's not something I wanted to do. So I think I still have that paperweight someplace, but I'm not wearing it.
We say fake people wear fake watches.
Oh, there you go. And that actually should be a T-shirt available from NONFICTION BRAND with a TM on the end of it. So why did you go all the way to San Diego from Germany, where Chrono24 is based, in order to, what were you hoping to get out of social media marketing world?
You do your stuff, and you do your stuff based on what the competition does or what people in the industry do. But the world is bigger than that. There are, especially when it comes to social media, I think it's very hard to learn things of social media from books. Obviously, it's an ever changing and fast paced industry. So you have to, and I think somebody said in one of your previous podcasts, you always have to be there where the magic happens. And I think the magic happens at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. I was there twice. I think you've been there probably 3-4 times.
No, I was the same 2 years. Well. Yeah.
Okay. So, right. So, me and you, we can both compare 2018 and 2019. And I think they were both very, very interesting. And I've met a ton of people just like you, just like Bea, Carlos, or the girls from South America who we talked about before. And, the keynote speakers, all just the speakers that I've had been able to see were just amazing. And some of the things I already know, some of the things we already do, some of the things we already use. But of course, there are always an opportunity to dip a bit more into live videos or Instagram TV or learn a bit about Facebook advertising. And you can find all of that stuff at Social Media Marketing World. So it was pretty obvious when I looked at all the conferences back in, I think, 2017. I looked up all the different conferences in Europe and also in the US, which is the one that I should be there. That was Social Media Marketing World. So that's the end of the story. And we booked the tickets and there I was in 2018, February.
Yeah, that was my first year as well. And when I went, I came back and my head was, just buzzing. And I was worried that there was so much that I got that I didn't digest it all until I looked back a couple of months later. And there were things I didn't even know about in February that I was now doing every single day in, say, June. And I had developed the muscles to do it. I was getting better and better at it, but only because I went out of my comfort zone, out of my comfortable home, out of my comfortable state, and went to some place where I knew nobody. And by the way, again, we're not trying to sell Social Media Marketing World here other than to say, if you're a solo showing up to that pre-opening night party at the Hyatt, I think.
Yes, right next to the conference.
Yeah, right next to the conference. There's a kind of casual meet and greet, have a drink fest going on. If you show up there with an open heart and an open smile, you're going to meet people pretty much instantly. And don't be surprised if some of them don't become lifelong friends and then become part of the posse you hang with for the rest of the time, which is certainly what happened with Balazs and me and Carlos and Bea and Deli and Carolina. Yep. By the way, we're looking for some people from the continent of Africa and Southeast Asia because we didn't really have that. We need some representatives. Yep. It wasn't just about Europe, South America, and North America. We're actively taking applications for members of the posse from Asia and not Australia, because we got that covered with some of the friends that were associated with us, but Africa for sure. So
please DM DP. You can find it on Instagram.
That's right.
This episode of the Nonfiction Brand podcast is brought to you by Nonfiction Brandversity. It's a free Facebook group dedicated to the art and craft of personal branding, and we'd like to invite you. Just search Nonfiction Brandversity on Facebook and ask to join. You're in, guaranteed. I can't wait to see you on campus.
So anyway, what do you do actively for Chrono24 to build its brand via social media?
So basically, I'm a social media content marketing manager. We have a content team of about, I think, 10 people now. Well, I manage most of the social media channels with a colleague of mine who's also responsible for community. He's a community manager and also working with the influencers. And then we have a video team of 2 guys now, Matthias and Muri. And those 2 guys are pretty amazing. And we're doing videos. We are obviously having our Instagram, our Facebook page, Twitter, and Pinterest. And sometimes we're writing articles. So we have a magazine, Chrono24 magazine. If you go on the website, you can find it on the magazine, or you can see articles from me, also from Pascal, the gentleman I just mentioned before, and some other writers. And then we have a YouTube channel, which is also Chrono24. And if you want to put a face to the voice, then you can see me on the Chrono24 YouTube channel with Pascal talking about watches. And we have our own little video production team. So I think we are tapping into various content types, from articles of written content to visuals and also videos. The one thing we're not mastering is podcasts, but that's why I'm here to learn from the best.
That's right, baby.
And so basically, I'm also managing the channels with mostly the Facebook and the Instagram page, as I said, with the help of Pascal. One thing that I'm really proud of is that when I took over Instagram, we had 3,600 followers on Instagram. That was end of 2016. If you look at it now, without any money, without any promotion, because in Instagram, we absolutely don't spend money on posts. We have, I guess, 71,000 followers, 72.
Yeah, 71.6 thousand followers.
Yeah. And this is absolutely organic in 3 years.
Well, and that's what I want to point out. And again, I'm going to translate your interest in watches to my interest in guitars because, I'm not a watch guy, but I'm certainly a guitar guy. And then I start thinking about, well, let's see, when I stop work and I go up to get some lunch, what do? I'm typically going to maybe Facebook, and I always end up finding Premier Guitar, which is a really great magazine. They do fantastic videos and, first looks at new products or samples on like, this is what this guitar pedal sounds like and things like that. And I'm sitting there eating my lunch, consuming this content from Premier Guitar. If you're a watch person, you're doing the same thing, which is maybe you're a Breitling guy. Maybe I'm looking at Breitlings going, I've got a low-end Breitling. I want to get this specific model sometime. I can't do that yet, but in my head, I've totally bought into the Breitling brand. Do you find in watches that people are single brand oriented, or are a lot of collectors kind of cross brand collectors?
Absolutely. No, of course, there's a huge community around certain brands, and there's a huge community around certain models. Of course, you have a collector who collects complications, for example. You have guys who collect only chronographs, so stopwatches, so stop functions in a wristwatch. The other guys only collect, GMT watches. But then you have people who only collect Breitlings or Omegas. And then you have people who only collect one specific model from Omega, let's say an Omega Speedmaster. And then you have everybody in between, right? Us with Fratello, if you allow me to go back to Fratello magazine for a second, sure. We have something called Speedy Tuesday. Speedy Tuesday started as a hashtag in 2012 when Robert Jan, our editor-in-chief, was on holiday. And it was a Tuesday, and he had a Speedmaster on, and he took a picture, and then he created a hashtag, it's Speedy Tuesday, because it was a Speedmaster on a Tuesday that he wore on his holidays. And so every Tuesday on Fratello magazine, we wrote an article about a Speedmaster. So fast forward to 2017, I think, we are releasing our first Speedy Tuesday watch in collaboration with Omega, the company that produces the Speedmaster. And this is a community that is absolutely formed around the model through a hashtag. God. And hashtag Speedy Tuesday is still the biggest driving force behind this community. And now in 2019, we have 2 limited editions with Omega, both in 2012 pieces, because the hashtag was created in 2012. We had get-togethers and meetings all around the world, like literally all around the world. You have fans in Japan, you have fans in the US, you have fans in Europe and everywhere else. And it's all social media. And these Speedy Tuesday watches, the first Speedy Tuesday watch was the first watch in the world that was launched on social media and sold exclusively online.
Okay, I am writing notes feverishly because that story is now going to be a case study in one of my presentations. Literally, I'm calling it the hashtag that became a watch. And I'm looking at Instagram right now, hashtag Speedy Tuesday. Listeners, in your head, how many posts do you think have a hashtag Speedy Tuesday? Do you think it's 10,000? Maybe 50? Try 191,325. 191,325 posts have a hashtag Speedy Tuesday. And if you go look at it, it's nothing but Omega Speedmasters or things related to it or closely aligned with it. Wow. That is the power of social media. Let me just ask this question. How much money did you put behind publicizing that hashtag?
Fratello magazine, I would say probably 0.0 euros.
So that would be less than zero.
It would be. It's a very solid zero.
Oh, do you hear what Balazs is saying? It started out as a joke, or maybe just kind of a lark.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming an actual physical watch. It's becoming 2 specific watches that collectors of Omega watches are going to want. Collectors of Omega Speedmasters are going to want. Collectors of watches that have some interesting story when it comes to watchmaking. That's certainly an interesting, unique story. And it becomes a property that is valuable to Fratello magazine. It gives people a reason to check out every Tuesday the Fratello magazine Instagram feed.
Indeed.
Boom. A hashtag that became a watch, and not just a watch, but a very sophisticated Swiss watch that's highly coveted by a whole lot of people.
Yes. And 2
different flipping models.
And maybe there's a third on the way. Who knows? Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years' time. We don't want to stop. It's just, this is too big.
Well, you don't have to when you've seen the success of this. You right now, and I'm guessing within a month, you're going to have 200,000 posts as people just embrace this. In one of my presentations, I like to point to the Shot on iPhone hashtag, which was a campaign a couple of years ago. It's still going. And right now they've got 9,200,000 and some odd thousand posts by individuals who are every day diligently typing in hashtag Shot on iPhone. Wow. Yeah. So if you're dubious about Instagram's value as a platform, and you're even more dubious about the power of a hashtag to leverage that dubious platform, this is a fantastic place to check it out and see just how powerful it can be. So again, that's hashtag Speedy Tuesday on Instagram. Check it out and be amazed.
Hey, nonfiction branders, did you know I wrote a book? Well, I did, and it's called Retoma, the ROI of Social Media Top of Mind. I wrote it with my colleague Spencer X. Smith, and it's all about Retoma, an acronym that means Return on Top of Mind Awareness. Best-selling author and NYU Stern School of Business professor Scott Galloway called it a book that starches the fluff from social media and helps managers allocate capital and find the unicorn among unicorns, ROI. And Chief Content Officer at Marketing Profs, Ann Handley said, this isn't just a practical way to think about the return on social media, it's also a spot-on, accurate way to reframe your social efforts. Check out all the 5-star reviews on Amazon by searching Retoma, R-O-T-O-M-A. Pick up your copy today and start building your personal, professional, and small business brand the Retoma way.
So what other channels are you using for Chrono24 or even Fratello?
I mean, for Fratello, it's mostly the magazine. And obviously, as you said, we have a very strong following base on social media, especially on Instagram. For Chrono24, again, we have a magazine, but the main social media platform that we use is Facebook. We publish our articles and push our articles on Facebook, and we publish every article in 6 languages. So whenever I publish an article, it doesn't only go live in English, it goes live in German, French, Italian, Spanish, and Japanese. So pretty much everybody around the world can read it. And we usually publish 2 to 3 articles or videos a week on Facebook. And then we're going to push it also on social media, so other social media channels like Instagram, like Twitter and Pinterest. But our 2 main channels are definitely Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
I'm going to say that's a fairly limited range based on all the possible channels out there. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that's frankly good, because I'm a big believer in doing fewer better.
Exactly. I think there's a big difference. And this is something that I learned at Social Media Marketing, where there's a big difference sometimes between quality and quantity. And I think when it comes to us, it's more about quality than quantity. So we don't have to be everywhere. We have to be at selected social media platforms that we know that our audience or our users use. And those platforms are Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. We don't want to be on TikTok. We don't want to be on Snapchat. This is not Chrono24 social media audience platform. But we do want to be on Facebook, and we do want to have our Facebook group, which we do have our own Chrono24 Facebook group. We're going to build our own community on Facebook. We're going to build our own community on Instagram. We're going to read the DMs. We're going to answer the DMs. We're going to get into discussions or maybe even, debates with the users. This is our goal. We don't want to be a huge channel who just consumes everybody's comments and likes and DMs and never reply. We want to get into conversation. And those 2 platforms, also with YouTube, are perfect for that as far as we see it.
Right. And in terms of the Balazs Ferenczi brand, you're doing it via word, you're doing it via image, and it sounds like you're interested in getting into podcasting or audio and video.
Yeah, I mean, the video is definitely out there with Chrono24. The word is out there with Fratello magazine, also the images, as well as on Instagram, as you mentioned it previously. The next logical step would be podcasts. So maybe I'm going to try that out soon. Who knows?
I think it's a good idea, because as Speedy Tuesday has shown you, the more niche-y, the more niche-y, the more focused you get, the more passion it ignites almost, So again, nonfiction branders who are listening to this podcast, what can you learn from the example of Balazs Ferenczi? 1, know who you are so you can be it. 2, follow your passion and don't necessarily apply for a job. Apply for the job you want to have, whether they have it or not. Because guess what? They might find a way to get you in there. And then do it and keep doing it. And when you can align your passions and your energies with the thing that actually pays you, it's not like work. I mean, it's still work, but it's not like, who was it who said it's not about work? It's the difference between work and toil. If you work, everybody works and works hard. But do you toil at what you do? Is it like digging a ditch? Digging a ditch is toil. Doing something you love, even if you're staying up late to get it done, that's work, but it's not toil. Align yourself with your passions, ignite those passions, and then work your butt off in the thing you love. And you can become a huge international superstar like Balazs Ferenczi of Karlsruhe, Germany. Hey, are you going back to social media marketing world this year?
I hope so. I don't have plans yet. We'll see how it pans out. I'd love to come back. I'd love to see you guys again. I'd love to, meet new people and get the latest and greatest from the industry. I mean, it's really a great place to be, and I would hate to miss it. So hopefully I'll be back. I hope you'll be back. I think
I'm definitely back. Yeah, I'm definitely coming back.
And Carlos too. So and I hope to see new faces. So come up to us, say hi to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell our listeners how they can follow where you are, what you're doing, what you're writing about.
Sure. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, then you can follow us at Fratello Watches, and that's Fratello. If you want to check out Chrono24's Instagram account, it's pretty simple. Chrono24, 2 and 4 with numbers. If you want to follow me, I let DP spell my name out again on Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. On Instagram, he is, let me get this right. Ferenczi Bazz.
Yeah.
Ferenczi
Bazz. That's my last name and part of my first name on Instagram. Other than that, you can go on www.fratello.com or you can go to chrono24.com. You can see the magazine, you can see the marketplace, and you can find my articles and find my videos on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it's been such a treat to have you on, Balazs, and I really do hope to see you in San Diego in March this year. For now, that's it for the Nonfiction Brand podcast. I want to invite everyone to become a member of our community, our passionate, aligned community of nonfiction branders at the Facebook group. It's called Nonfiction Brandversity. Just look it up, ask to join, answer a couple questions to prove that you are a carbon-based, not silicon-based life form, and you're in. And for now, I'm DP Knudten, and he is
Balazs Ferenczi from Karlsruhe, Germany.
And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.